Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the hopeful elect. Peace to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect. I am the brother Kaya from GMS Indianapolis, the branch of Indiana, and the original Gary campus GMS. It will not tarry too. And I just want to play this and get a scripture and speak on it for a second. All right. The quiet part out loud if you put all the different groups together. All right. Anyway.
Says our days are done. White man's day is done.
He's probably right.
Yeah. No, I think he is right. Yeah. Well, if it's true, the Eden population of North America is we're in the minority. I think even at this point.
Do you have any information about what was told?
If you put all the different groups together.
Yeah. But you go to Toronto and every couple you see walking by is all mixed up. Even I don't see two white people together. It's white Asian, white Indian.
And police are not particularly intelligent individuals. In fact, when you're going to become a police officer, they got something where you can be too intelligent or you can be too smart, and they won't pick you to be a policeman. They're associated with you being able to be easily corrupted, being an independent thinker or whatever. But basically, they want people to just take orders and listen. They don't want people to think outside of the herd. All right. So police are not particularly smart. All right. But these Edomites, they believe these in particular, they believe they're outnumbered with all the other people combined. That's not the only reason why you're outnumbered. All right. There's a lot of reasons why you're outnumbered. Number one is because you're not your birth rates are declining. You don't produce and oftentimes more than 3 to 4 children, only unless you're like into Mormonism or something like that, or maybe the Amish, right? The white race are opting out of having children more and more and more, especially white females. White females are not choosing to be with white males. They're choosing to be with more and more and more of the other races, in particular, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American races. All right. And also, even when foreigners come over, even Latino foreigners, they'll lie and put down white. So when they do the numbers, it inflates the so-called white races. So that's not the only reason. That's not it. Just if all the other races and nations combined, there would be more than you. That's not it. OK, it's more than that. It's more detailed than that.
He wants to stay in the mix.
Right. And because another thing, white males, Edomite, the police, they still believe that and I saw this clip maybe two or so years ago, and it was longer. It spoke about how that so-called white people was going to start naming, well, these policemen here, they were speaking about how they would even give their children, it might be a good idea to give them so-called ethnic names to keep their foot in the door. Because that's what they still got that belief that, DEI and politically correct and things were just given to so-called black people. All right. On one hand, you still got that ignorance, because it's much more easier to believe that it's someone else's fault, all right, than your own inadequacies, all right, as a so-called white person, as a so-called white man, okay. But basically, when you look at slavery, the Emancipation Proclamation, what they did was they took the slaves out of the hand of private owners and put them into the hands of the elites, the corporate owners. And through the progress of time, they took the American people, the sovereign American people, early 1900s, so on and so forth. Slowly but surely, they put you in slavery as well. And what's happening is, with everyone enslaved, the cream is rising to the top. All right. Now that all the American populace is enslaved, you're seeing the so-called black people doing a little better in this slavery. All right. So now so-called white people can blame it on other factors, when now we're met with the same conditions. You see what happens when we're met with some of the same conditions? And this is what you have. All right. So anyway, the so-called white man with conversations like that, and this the police having this conversation. Who knows what else was said, but in the car, private, was not recorded. So they feel it. All right. And that's not the answer, Will. And I don't know if that was Canada. He said something about Toronto. All right. But basically, the Israelite man is getting status back. All right. Let me see. Lamentations 4:1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? See, we were esteemed as earthen pitchers, clay pots. All right. So-called black man, scum of the earth. But now that is reversing. That is taking a different shape, a different angle. And you see it happening. One of the easiest ways you see it happening, and is all of these women wants to be with black men. No matter how much the media is used to demonize them, the number one criminal, all right, number one deadbeat, which that's not true. Come to find out, so-called black men are the most active in their children's lives. See? So all these lies that they told on our people, the Israelites, all right, they're being swept away. They're being totally swept away, and this is the result. So the so-called white, what he say is over with. He said the days of the white man are done, and that's true. We're witnessing the final hours of it. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare, exposed, right? All them lies, so-called the myth of the deadbeat, the myth of the criminal. Elon Musk, he taking down tweets that are exposing white crime statistics, because the statistics, which says so-called black people are 13% of the population and they're charged with half of the crime, those are not convictions. Those are just what they're prosecuted for. All right. Now, all of those things are not, we're not convicted of all those things. Some of those things are fake. So they plant evidence, and you watch the TV shows, right? You watch Law and Order, right? You watch the movies, right? The police arrest a so-called black man and he scream he innocent, and the police say, yeah, that's what they all say. Right? That's what they all say. But when you look at who's the number one for exonerations, the number one for wrong convictions, the so-called black man as well. See? But they don't factor that in. So you are bare. I have uncovered his secret places. Yeah. You little think tanks where you operate behind the scenes in the dark. All right. Executing wickedness. And the police department is a secret place. All right. To an extent. Because here it is. You're supposed to represent protection and justice. But come to find out, you got inner gangs within these police departments. They just exposed one in Elkhart some months back. Police gangs, which are totally dedicated to racism and oppressing so-called black people. All right, that's not blasted on the news, right? But we still know about it because what? The Lord have uncovered your secret places. And he showed not be able to hide himself. And you know what happened when somebody back against the wall? All right. Now they got to go to the old faithful, the sword, the gun, destruction, violence. Two weapons, lies and weaponry. And when the lies don't work, that's when you come with the weaponry. Big stick diplomacy, Theodore Roosevelt stated, speak softly and carry a big stick. Let me see if we can let me see if we can see. See what it says a little bit about that. Big stick diplomacy is the foreign policy strategy famously associated with President Theodore Roosevelt that emphasizes peaceful negotiations backed by the implicit or explicit threat of military force. All right. It says the strategy is based on the West African proverb, speak softly and carry a big stick, you will go far. Yeah, they always stealing something. In practice, it means that a nation with strong military capability can achieve its foreign policy goals through diplomacy because other nations are aware of its power and the potential for a big stick intervention. Right. So when their smooth words and their soft words are not convincingly enough, then there you go. Get the gun. Go and get the gun. And that's where we at right now. On the biblical timeline is the devil know he had a short time, therefore has he come down having great wrath. Now the elites know they got a short time, all right? But even these low levels feel it, these low level Edomite so-called white people feel it too. Like those police, those are low level Edomites. But even they said what? The days of the white man are done. It says his seed is spoiled, and his brethren, all you different branches of so-called white people. I'm Polish, or I'm German, I'm Russian, y'all spoiled. I'm South African. All right. And his neighbors, and he is not. See, your seed is spoiled. That's your sons. Your sons are what? Into the alphabet community, into cuckolding. Right? Your sons are what? Dying in record numbers from the opioids epidemic, suicide from depression. All right? This is the most depressed the world has ever been, taking all these medications for anxiety. Well, goddamn it, if you look out into the world and see what's going on, who wouldn't have a level of anxiety? But here come the devil. I got some false medication for you, right? They're homeless. Large contingency of so-called white people homeless. All right, and that's dealing with their sons, and then their women are what? Dealing with the same problems, and also their women are going to other men. All right, so your nation, the so-called white race, which your Edomites, it's imploding. It's imploding and exploding at the same time. Anyway, with that, Lord's will, this was the edifying lesson to the hopeful elect. Call Halayim La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Kakodash, which is all praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Shalom.